Hi, this is Graham Jeacocke. Now, I want to use a section from the Old Testament from Leviticus 10 where Aaron's sons Nadab and Abihu died before the Lord, and it was because they didn't follow the laws set forth by God. Now, many people get upset that people die, but I want to contrast this with science, okay? There are laws in science, okay? Now, what I have before me is rather the equivalent of the Bible. This is the Bible for scientists, for chemistry, okay? And physicists, chemists and physicists, and no doubt biologists. But here we have uranium, something nuclear, okay? Because I think people need to establish what God is, okay? Or the closest we can illustrate what God can be. Now, I'm sure you've seen nuclear bombs go off, if that's the correct term to use. The big mushroom cloud. Now, there are laws. Right. If you cross the road, okay, there are laws of sensibility. If you don't obey the laws of sensibility, you're going to end up dead or hurt. If you cross the road and you don't look, a car is going to hurt you, or a vehicle of some description, or even a pedestrian running, a runner or a cyclist. Now, it doesn't matter if you know these rules, because life ensures you forget them, because you're consumed by other thoughts going through your head. It's the same thing about the 10 Commandments. You see, Dr. Dawkins seems to be under the impression that what sticks in your mind forever. I wonder if he got 100% correct in all his exams. To be so judgmental about mocking the requirement of the 10 Commandments. But anyway, I digress. But it's justified. Now, God in the Old Testament, okay, and God is consistent, okay. God is holy in the Old Testament, okay, just as well as the New. But God is holy, but this has consequences. Like when you're dealing with uranium, it has consequences. You have to live by the laws. You see, scientists have to obey the laws rigidly, or they will die. Now, God is no different. God is holy. And what do I mean by holy? I mean, people talk about the purity of alcohol, okay? Now, you use that image, okay? The purity of a substance. Now, God is the purity of good. Everything good. Now, when people interact opposite to good, chaos happens. Just like if you've ever watched lava go into water and it reacts, Now, that's another image of what it is to be like in the Old Testament when facing God. Humans have to behave in a certain way in order for God to communion with them. And that is one point where the tent of meeting is demonstrating that, where God and humans can live together. That was the ultimate result God desires for man and woman and children. Now, as I said, the two children of Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, died because they did not follow the rules. Now, let me give the description for uranium. If you don't follow the rules, how to live with uranium. If you're going to handle uranium, you better follow the rules. Now, this is a caution. Uranium is a chemical hazard as well as a radiological hazard. Potential symptoms of overexposure to U metal or insoluble U compounds are dermatitis, kidney damage, blood changes. Potential symptoms of overexposure to soluble U compounds are lacrimation, conjunctivitis, shortness of breath, cough, chest rallies, nausea, vomiting, skin burns, red blood cells and casts in urine, albuminuria, high blood urea nitrogen. Now, that doesn't seem very pretty to hear, and I'm guessing it's not pretty to experience. Now, I'm puzzled why such an intellectual mind that Dr. Dawkins seems to promote that he has cannot comprehend that when you look at something, you have to understand the nature of something. You have to understand the nature of uranium if you want to live with it or interact with it. Therefore, Dr. Dawkins has to understand the nature of God. And the Old Testament, word after word, is describing the nature of God so that man can live happily in the world. Now, that's my rant over. Whether anyone listens, well, you can put a price on sensibilities, because to have sense is like a precious stone. It is hard to find. Enjoy yourselves.